On everyone. Well, like the title says, it is do or die. 55 days left in my lease as of right now. However, in another 22 minutes, I will have 54 days left in my lease. And so why I'm saying it's do or die time is because I could very well end up being homeless. And that is because, first of all, I do not have first and last month's rent available. Second of all, I am not going to be renewing my lease to stay another year here at this current apartment complex. Although if I wanted to 100% avert being homeless, I could sign that paperwork, fill out that lease, and only have to pay like $200. But I'm actually going to take my chances because obviously the time I have spent living in this complex has probably been some of the most hellish experiences when it comes to living situations. So I am going to bank on the fact that hopefully between working with the local workforce veteran representative that helps veterans look for work, helping me to put together a resume, and completing this Nanodegree program from Udacity, the Data Analyst Nanodegree program. Now that in itself is not going to get me a job. I will say that. That in itself won't get me a job. However, it is the skills that I am acquiring from getting this certification that's going to help me out. From then, it's up to me to start really focusing on just strictly working on projects. I might do another nano degree just to kind of take a step back and really focus on the programming aspects of it. But right now, it is pretty much do or die. And I kind of have some bad news, and that is my computer has been crashing on me a lot lately. I get those blue screens of death. So what happens is I'll be doing something, I'll be surfing the internet, whatnot, and then it just completely freezes up. And then I get that blue screen. It says, your system has run into an error and needs to restart, store exception error, or some other exception error. And it's always this blue screen, and it's like it's happening more frequently, and now I'm getting like a message saying boot device not found, and then as soon as I hit the restart button, I'm fine. But the fact of the matter is it's happening more frequently, so I have the feeling that my hard drive's about to go on me, and I can't be without a computer, especially right now, especially now that I've got very limited time left. Now is the time where I really need to have a computer. So on Sunday, I'm going to be looking for another computer. Unfortunately, I'm going to be headed to Best Buy, looking for another computer. And they do have a 2-week return policy, which is kind of nice. And so with that, I figure I'll take it in. I have an appointment to take this computer in about a week and a half time, and see if they can fix it. If not, well, then I'll just end up keeping the computer that I buy on Sunday. And so the reason why this is really crucial is I need to have a computer that's reliable, that's not going to keep crashing on me, because now it is to the point where I'm going to be devoting 6 to 8 hours a day, if not more, at least 5 days a week, on really finishing up this Nanodegree program and really trying to beef up my portfolio. Because like I said, it is do or die. I mean, you guys out there, it is looking likely that I am going to be homeless in 55 days. And if this video goes into 12 o'clock midnight my time, 54 more days until I become homeless. And so how long I'm going to be homeless? Well, it all depends on how lucky I get. And you may be wondering, well, why don't I just take any kind of job to avert homelessness? Now, here's the thing. When you suffer from a mental disability, anxiety, depression, and I'm not gonna run the whole gamut here, but certain jobs, and unfortunately many of the jobs I could get right now, unfortunately are customer service related. And being that I'm in kind of like in a position where because of my condition, I can get really irritable if someone's having a bad day and they're like telling me, well, I thought you told me this price was like $5. Why is it like $6? I thought it was supposed to be on sale. Or maybe another job where, let's say you get the idea. It's just customer service is just not for me. And I know some of you are probably going to bring up the whole welding thing or like the construction or mechanic. Like I said before, I'm not very good with my hands. I'm not into doing monotony. I'm not into physical labor. If I was into physical labor, I would have skipped out on college and just hit up the construction industry right from the get-go. So here's the thing. I didn't go to college to end up working in a light industrial setting, whether that's construction or welding, or I guess that would be more considered industrial work. But regardless, I didn't go to college to end up working in a job field that I didn't like to do, and that was like customer service related, construction, welding. Now you may be saying, don't I like to, I mean, you're just probably, some of you may be thinking, oh, this guy just doesn't like to work. Now here's the thing. I grew up in the era back in the 80s, and I was raised, leading to believe that a college degree was a gateway to a good life. I mean, I grew up with that belief probably the first 20, 21 years in life. And in all honesty, most of the people I went to middle school with and went to high school with the first couple of years, they're all doing extremely well. And they most of them got college degrees, and they're doing exceptionally well. So yeah, if I had gone to college back when I should have gone to college back in the mid 1990s, oh, I'm sure I would have been doing pretty well. But see, that's the thing. It's like this whole time I'm pretty much raised to believe that the college degree was the gateway to a better life. Okay, so now over time you realize that like a four-year degree is like the new high school diploma. So that was kind of my motivation 4 years ago to figure, okay, well, I figure just a basic college degree is not good enough. But I figure, oh, a master's degree, that surely should get me some kind of corporate level job, or at least a job that's higher up. And then here it is now, 2018, 2019, of course, now we're in 2020. But I've come to learn the hard way that just because you have a master's degree, it does not guarantee you the good life at all. It all comes down to what kind of degree you have. So I'm not going to go into detail on that. That's going off in a tangent. Right now, what I'm getting at is it's do or die. So I kind of wanted to give you guys an update because, like I said, I am pretty much honing in. I think a couple of days this week, I got in over 6 hours, working in some projects. Right now, I'm working on an insanely, it's not so much difficult, but I'm just trying to really do as good a job as possible. I'm doing it's a fourth actual project in Udacity. It's some people call it the Twitter or We Rate Dogs project, or it's like the Twitter data set or whatnot. But it's a pretty fun data set to work with. You're figuring out like which dog breeds got like the most retweets, got the most likes, and so forth. I'm not going to go into detail on it, but regardless, I've got 2 projects left in this Nanodegree program. I'm probably about 5 or 6 hours away from finishing project number 4, and I'm about 78% of the way done with the final module, and then I will start the final project, which I anticipate will probably take me about 30 to 40 hours to do, cumulative. And then once I get that done, boom, bada bam, I will have my Udacity Nanodegree. And like I said, that's only the beginning. What I have to do now is I have to really solidify those skills, start working on my own projects, use these projects that I've completed thus far as templates, kind of like as a guide to help guide me on future projects that I do. Kind of take a step back, really focus in on more of like the pure programming aspects of working with Python, Pandas, NumPy. So that way, if and by the chance I do get invited to a job interview and they have me do some coding challenge or some kind of programming challenge, I'll know what I'm doing. Because that's the whole thing. It's one thing to say, okay, I've got all these projects on my portfolio and whatnot, but if I go into an interview and they ask me to do like a simple programming project and I can't do it because my mind slips, or I'm like, oh crap, how do I do that? I can't remember how I do that. And it's like, oh dang, I forgot. It was just as simple as doing this conversion into a different data type and then using this into a function. It would be kind of embarrassing to have spent the last 3 months now working on these projects, and I get so deep into some of these projects and I'm really honing in on finishing this Nanodegree program that some of the basic stuff that I learned like 4 or 5 months ago is kind of starting to slip by me a little bit, and so I can't let that happen. So that's kind of why I'm going to probably take a little step back. I'm going to be working on my projects, but take a step back, really focusing on the programming aspects of it. So that way, if I do get invited to it, I shouldn't say if, it's like when I get invited to an interview process, I'll be more confident in being able to do the programming challenge or whatever they might have me do. Sometimes I've heard that some interviews, they have you do something where you take home like an assignment or something, and then you come back in for another interview and they see how well you did with it. Other times they strictly look at your portfolio. They see like what kind of skills that you're able to apply, whatnot. But regardless, I have to utilize these next 55 days to the maximum. And so that's going to mean making sure I have a computer that's functioning properly, that's not crashing on me like every 4 minutes, that's not slowing down on me. Because like I said, this is where I'm going to find out just how motivated I am. It's kind of like how people say, if you really want it badly enough, you will make it happen. And so right now I'm being put to the full, I'm being tested to the maximum. How badly do I want this? How badly do I want to have my own place to live? How badly do I want to have a better life? How badly do I really want to get into a position where I can land that job? Because here's how it is. There are a lot of people out there who are like, it's like, oh, I dream of one day being able to make a pitch for like a baseball team, to be able to give the opening pitch. Or I one day dream to meet the president. Or I one day dream to meet my favorite Olympian. Or I one day dream to do this or that. Here's the funny thing. I dream to one day actually land a job where I can actually afford to have my own place to live, can pay my bills on time, can actually eat decently, can get the therapy that I need, and can actually have a little bit of time and actually have some money to go on vacation and actually do things with friends. And about 90 to 95% of my high school, middle school, and high school peers are living that dream. And 90 to 95% of my ski buddies I grew up skiing with back at Alpental are living the dream. And I mean, they are living it big. I kid you not. I'm not going to say names, but one of them, they kind of made the same mistake I did. Granted, they made it in their 20s, their early 20s, 4-year degree, French literature, turned out to be pretty useless. At least that's what they thought. Next thing you know, they decided to pursue law school. They're like in their mid-20s, upper 20s. Got their bar certification. Now they're making, I'm not going to say salary figures, but let's just say they're doing pretty dang well. They're lower 30s, having their own house. I've seen photos of them helicopter skiing, living the life. Another friend of mine I used to ski with owns a nice house out and close to the mountain, living the good life. Only got a bachelor, and he got a bachelor in, what was it? I think he got a bachelor in, what was it? I can't remember. I think he got a bachelor in geoscience or something. But he's running his own business now. And granted, he did have some family help to get his business started, but another buddy of mine that I used to snowboard with, that he claims he taught Eddie Vedder how to snowboard. Yes, I kid you not. I used to snowboard with this guy all the time, and he claims that he taught the lead singer of Pearl Jam, Eddie Vedder, how to snowboard. And whether or not that's true, I have no idea, but if there's any truth to that, the fact that he's probably one of the top successful real estate agents in the King County area, sells like multi-million-dollar homes, it's probably true that he probably did teach Eddie Vedder how to snowboard, because he is a pretty dang good snowboarder. He's won some bank ride slaloms. He comes in first in his age group pretty often. So he's a pretty dang good snowboarder, and it's probably, I mean, being that he's really outgoing, he's really extroverted, I would bet that he probably did teach Eddie Vedder how to snowboard. But regardless, most of my ski buddies that I grew up skiing with, they're doing exceptionally well. So, yes, I do have my general eds out of the way. And so here's the thing. I'm supposedly supposed to start a master's degree in data science this fall. But because this whole COVID-19 and this whole thing with the VA, everything seems to be on hold up. I haven't heard anything from my counselor in like the last 2 or 3 months now. So I'm kind of gearing up for the fact that I may not be starting college this fall, and it's possible that I might have, the college thing may not even be happening. So that's why I'm really focusing on hopefully just being able to beef up my resume, beef up my portfolio, get myself at least maybe an entry level, like maybe a data analyst associate position, just some kind of position to get my foot in the door, and then maybe start, maybe pursue a degree part-time, doing it online. So I would pursue the same degree that I'm supposed to start this fall, but I would do it part-time online. And of course, some companies out there even they'll pay for your degree, especially if it's to help advance in your career. And from what I've read and from what I've been told, a lot of data scientists start off as data analysts. It's pretty much the way to go. If you want to be a data scientist, oftentimes you'll start off as a data analyst, which makes sense because a data scientist, it's like working with like I'll leave out the details on that, but regardless, I've got to somehow get my foot in the door as quickly as possible. Ideally, it'd be nice if I could do it within the next 55 days, and in a matter of 6 minutes, it's going to be down to 54 days. But even if it takes longer than that, however long it takes, that's how long I'm probably going to be homeless for. So if it takes me say another month after August 1st to finally land a job, well, that's most likely how long I'm going to be homeless for. If it takes me 2 months, that's how long I'm going to be homeless for. Now, I'm not going to necessarily be homeless straight on. I'm going to be probably staying in hotels, every other night or so that way I can keep myself clean. I don't end up being all smelly and all that. But yeah, so in essence, I'm not going to have a place to live until I actually land myself a job. And why I'm doing this, why I'm really what I'm doing is I see myself as clawing myself out of a rut. Because many people will say, go get yourself a regular job, work 40 hours a week, work 60 hours a week. But the problem with that is if I'm doing something that's mundane, repetitive, working at some packaging facility, I'm not going to have any time to hone up on my skills. So what I'm doing is I'm going to end up digging myself deeper into a rut. So I'm kind of I see it as clawing my way out of a rut. I am clawing my way out of a rut. And that means having to take the chance of being homeless, making use of having the free time to really beef up my portfolio, finish this nanodegree program, and really face it head on. Because it's like I'm determined to be on par with all my old ski buddies. I'm determined to be on par with my high school cohort, even though I didn't graduate with them. I'm determined to be on par with them. Maybe not immediately, but someday be on par with them. And so it's kind of like one of those things. It's like some people, it's like if they won the lottery, it's like, oh, how their life would be like. They'd be living the dream if they won the lottery. For me, I'd be living the dream if I had a job making like 40 or 50K a year. That'd be basically living the dream for me. No more having to live with random roommates. No more door slamming. No more having to live near an area where people are lighting off fireworks at 12:30 at night. I feel like I'm almost living in the ghetto right now. Yes, actually, I have been homeless before. Yeah, I have actually been homeless before. I was homeless for 2 weeks. I slept in my mom's Lincoln. My stepdad used to own a Lincoln. When they got divorced, my mom somehow I guess my stepdad decided to give the cars to my mom. And so my mom got the Lincoln. So that's what I was driving around. After my very first car that I drove was a Pontiac 1000. A 1983 Pontiac 1000 was my very first car. When that broke down, well, I was left to drive my mom's a 1980 Lincoln Continental Mark VI. And it had like the 8-track player and all that. Yep, I slept in that thing for 2 weeks. Found myself an empty cul-de-sac. And I was only hassled one time by the police, but all they were doing was checking up on me, just making sure I was safe. After that, they never bothered me one more time. And then how I got out of that was one of my former ski buddies, actually former snowboarder buddies, let me stay with them until I finally went down to Colombia for 3 months. And so that's how that 2-week homeless stint ended. It ended by a snowboarding friend of mine being able to put me up, but I don't have that option this time. I'm not going to be having anyone to come to my rescue and let me stay with them. So I'm 45 years old. I can't be expecting people to come to my rescue. It's like most people expect a 45-year-old to have their crap together. I mean, that's just pretty much the mentality these days. If you're 45 years old and don't have your stuff together, tough luck there, buddy. I mean, that's kind of the vibe I'm getting, and so it's kind of like a tough vibe. But I've got to accept the fact that it's going to be a countdown time to being homeless, making use of this do or die time. And I know I haven't really uploaded much in the way to my GitHub as of late because, like I said, I'm focusing on these last two projects, and they are doozies. I'm going to admit, when you're coming from a non-technical background, no programming background, I'll admit they're doozies of a project that they're going to provide for some awesome templates for me to work off of when I work on other projects. So that's the plus side of it. And then I figure if I can bust out a project every few days, I'll be good to go. Work on those programming skills. As long as we have 1 minute left now, the countdown is on until it's 54 days left, until my lease is up, until I become homeless. All right, it's 11:59. Are we going to make it 12 o'clock? Are we getting to 12 o'clock yet? Oh, we're holding on. Okay, it's getting close. It's getting close here. 11:59 still. I'll let you guys know as soon as it reaches midnight. So what can I say? Yeah, so kind of just giving you guys an update. Other than that, I'm doing okay, battling loneliness, as usual. But I'm kind of trying to put that off to the side now because I realize that loneliness is going to be a part of me until I, get myself a good job, get myself some good therapy. It's going to be a part of my life. Just have to, learn to live and accept that. But I have to learn to realize that there are qualities. I have positive qualities. Got to really learn to put those to good use, and that's going to, here we go. It is now midnight. 54 days left in this lease. I now have 54 more days until I no longer live in this apartment complex and until I potentially become homeless. 54 more days until being homeless. Maybe not. I might get lucky. I might land a job before then. But regardless, the countdown has been on 54 days. Okay. Let's see, what are some of my comments? Okay, you don't need therapy. You need Rupert Spira meditations. Now, here's an interesting thing. Now, having my own place is also going to enable me to meditate. It's going to enable me to focus on meditations because, yes, meditations, prayer, whatever some people may want to call it, I'll be able to meditate. I'll have the freedom to be able to do things, not have to worry about roommates, doing all this stuff or being too noisy or being distracted. And so that's going to be, I'll be able to focus on meditation. And of course, some people are going to argue that I don't need therapy. The reason, now, the therapy I'm referring to is more of specialized therapy. And it's almost almost you could say life skills therapy or social skills therapy, but I have a tendency to really overanalyze things. It's insane. I'm not going to go into detail. I might just specifically actually, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make a separate video one time, kind of showing you guys a sample machine learning project that I want to do in the future. But I don't like to talk too much about future things because when you start talking about future goals and all that, people are going to be like, well, let's see you meet your intermediate goals first before you start worrying about future goals. So I'm kind of hesitant on talking about distant future projects and whatnot. I got to really focus on what I'm doing right now before I start talking about things off in the future. And so right now, my immediate focus is on completing this Nanodegree program, my Data Analyst Nanodegree program, finishing up these last projects, taking a step back, working on some more projects, meeting up with the work source agent that works with veterans, meeting up with him, working on my resume, and start applying for jobs. That is my immediate goal right now. Anything else beyond that should kind of stay kind of out of my radar for right now because really I got to focus right now on landing myself a job because pretty much however long it takes me to land a job is how long I'm going to be homeless once my lease ends. So it's do or die. It's do or die. So on Sunday, I'm going to be going to Best Buy, getting myself another computer because I can't be having a computer that crashes on me all the time. And luckily, it hasn't crashed on me during this video. But that's because I'm not doing a bunch of opening up browsers. I'm not running any programs on it right now. So that's probably why it hasn't crashed on me right now. But I can guarantee you that if I tried to work on a project right now and open up my Jupyter notebook, within about 5 minutes, it's going to start freezing up on me. I'm not going to be able to scroll up and down. It's going to like start having serious delay. And what should only take me like a few seconds to do is going to take me like a few minutes to do. So yeah, unfortunately, that's kind of the pitfalls of not having a reliable computer. Is it can kind of cause you to fall behind a little bit. But let's see. So yeah, like I said, my main goal is to finish this Udacity Nanodegree program and see if I can finish it within the next 20 days. Because if I finish it within the next 20 days, I don't have to pay another month for it. So that's going to be a good thing. That should give me some incentive. Do that. I might do another Nanodegree program, but to kind of take a step back, really focusing on learning Python programming for data science, really working with pandas and NumPy. So that way I don't have to keep looking at for resources on like Stack Overflow. I'll be able to kind of like figure it out mostly on my own, spend less time looking for resources, because that's the whole idea. It's okay to look for resources when you're trying to find a question, but you don't want to be doing it too often. You want to have a good understanding of what you're doing and only look for resources if need be. But that's where I'm at for now. I'm going to keep this from getting too long. I feel like every time I do a live streaming video, it ends up being like a marathon. But I guess it is a live stream, so I guess they are kind of long. It's been a while since I've just done a straight up blogging video where I set the camera down and talk in front of the camera. It's been a while since I've done one of those. And so let me see. If I scroll down through some of my comments here, yeah, I'd like to say hello to all of you who have commented on here. I thank you much. I'm doing awesome with coding, like I said. I've kind of got to take a little step back once I finish this Nanodegree program and kind of just focus more, not so much on the very basics, but just kind of more on like understanding control flow and more of like the advanced basics. I don't need to get down to what I call the hello world basics. I'm past that. I'm past this hello world of basic stuff. Just kind of more of the advanced basic stuff. So let's see. My family's doing good. No. Here's the thing. In response, do I know anyone who might have contacts? No, I do not. But that is where the veterans representative that works at the work source, that is where he comes into play, because he helps me put together a resume. And supposedly they have these veterans, these people that represent for veterans at the work source, and they have people like in each of the counties, and supposedly they work with another guy that's higher up, and this guy is supposed to have like job leads from people that are hiring, specifically hiring veterans. And so that's kind of why I'm hoping for it. It's that the guy that I will meet with at the work source, he's going to have connections from this guy that's higher up that has connections to companies that are hiring veterans. That's pretty much what I'm banking on, because as far as having any personal contacts on my own, I really don't have any. And what else? What else is there? I was going to say something else. Yeah, I think in my next video, I'm going to actually talk about this Nanodegree program that I'm doing. It's kind of expensive to do, but I feel like it does warrant a pretty good review. So I figure I'm going to make a review on it, because they do give you feedback on your projects, which is really nice. They give you feedback on like your GitHub profile. They actually got feedback on my GitHub profile, which is pretty. They told me it's like, here's what I can't remember exactly what they said, but they told me it's like, you are a brilliant student. And then they said like your GitHub shows that you put in a lot of effort and that you've got a lot of determination. And they gave me some suggestions to do more commits and all that. But for the most part, they gave me pretty positive feedback for the amount of time that I've been on it. I've only been on it for 2 or 3 months now. So they gave me positive feedback. After I turn in my dog Twitter project, I'm going to send them a link to my LinkedIn account, and they're going to give me a review on my LinkedIn account. So they give you a review of how well your social media is too. So that's kind of a positive there. So I'm starting to lose my voice here, so I'm gonna have to cut this pretty short, pretty quick here. Let's see, anything else that I need to respond here? Family's doing okay. I make sure that my mom's keeping safe. Family in Colombia is doing fine. They're doing good. They're trying to do what they can. But yeah, pretty much family's doing good. Let's see, who else am I missing? Anyone in here? No, I don't think I'm missing anyone in here. Let's see. No, right now I do not have any form of employment right now. So right now I'm unemployed, and so that's why I'm really making use of this time. And so that's why I'm kind of fretting about my computer crashing on me, because being that I'm unemployed, it means I have a lot of time to really be focusing. So that's why on Sunday, get myself a new computer, and it's hands down. I'm going to treat the next 2 months as if I'm working a full-time job, only doing it with this coding and project stuff. So 40 hours a week minimum is what I'm going to be devoting to it. So like I said, it's do or die. So I think I've said that too many times now. I'm losing my voice. I think I've responded to everyone. No, my mom is, she's living on the East Coast. She's actually the only one that's not living in, my mom is the only family member that's not living in Colombia. Everyone else is living in Colombia. Aside from that, I think I've responded to everyone. So I thank you all for joining me on this update. Like I said, other than that, I'm doing pretty good. I'm going to try to see if I can do another 20 or so minutes on this dog Twitter project of mine before my computer starts crashing on me some more. I just want to get some work done here and there until Sunday comes around. But like I said, I thank you all for continuing to support my channel. I typically don't like to say what a lot of videos out there will say, like, hit like the so-called such and such button. And the reason why they do that is because I think YouTube's algorithm, it helps a video show up in search results. But I don't know, if people like a video, they're gonna like it or not. If people want to subscribe, they're gonna subscribe. It's like I don't see the whole point of people having to beg for subscribers or likes or whatnot. I really don't see the whole point of that. But I don't know, I guess maybe it's just something I've never really done before, and I don't think I am going to really start doing it. So aside from that, what else is there I can rant about? No, I think that's about it. I think it's safe to say that my rant for now is over. I thank you all for joining me in on this live streaming. Thank you for all your comments. I apologize if I didn't get to everyone, but I made sure I tried to get to most of you. But if not, once again, thank you for commenting, kind of giving me, asking me some questions, and just happy to do these live streams every so now and then. But I'll be back with more action, hopefully sooner rather than later. But once again, thank you all for watching. Peace out.